You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion.
Hello and welcome to another interesting lesson. Our topic in this video is Nigeria's natural resources and how we use resources. Nigeria's natural resources and how we use resources. So, today we're going to learn about the meaning of natural resources, the types of natural resources, the uses of natural resources, and how to conserve our natural resources. So, let's get started. What are natural resources? Natural resources are useful things which are made by God. Natural resources are useful things which are made by God. They are things made by God to be used by man, okay? And there are basically two types of natural resources, which are agricultural resources and mineral resources. So the two types of natural resources we're going to talk about in this lesson are agricultural resources and mineral resources. Now, what are agricultural resources? Agricultural resources are the useful things that we get from the farm. Agricultural resources are the useful things that we get from the farm, and they can be either crops or animals. Okay, so agricultural resources are gotten from the farm and they are either crops or animals. Okay, now we have two types of crops. We have two types of crops, which are cash crops and food crops. All right, okay, so now let's go over to mineral resources. What are mineral resources? Mineral resources are useful things which are found under the ground. Mineral resources are useful things which are found under the ground. Okay. Now there are people who dig the ground, they dig deep into the ground to be able to find these minerals because minerals are buried deep in the ground. Okay. So people who dig the ground to find minerals are called miners. People who dig the ground to find minerals are called miners. Now let's go over to the uses of natural resources. We'll start with cash crops. The first I have here is cocoa. Cocoa is a cash crop and is used to make chocolate and beverages. Okay. Another cash crop I have here is cotton. Cotton is used to make clothes. And we have here rubber. The rubber plant, you can see a rubber tree here and a bowl attached to it. The liquid from the rubber plant is dripping into the bowl. That liquid is called latex. It's from the rubber plant and it is used to make a lot of things like tires for our vehicles and shoes also, okay, and a lot of other things, okay. So you can see that the rubber plant is very important, okay, and even big trees like the mahogany or the Iroko trees give us wood, and we use those woods to make furniture like our chairs, our tables, our cabinets. Okay, so we use them to make furniture. We use wood to make furniture. Okay, now food crops generally are eaten. Okay, so that's the use of food crop. Food crops like your onion, your cabbage, tomato, rice, beans, they are consumed as food. They are eaten. Okay, so that's the use we put them to. Now let's go over to animals. What do we do with animals? Animals serve as a source of food. Excuse me. Animals serve as a source of food. Okay, okay, we can get meat, milk, and eggs from animals. Okay, and also animals provide wool. We get wool from sheep. Okay, we also get hides and skin from animals. Okay, now let's go over to how we use mineral resources. The first I have here is crude oil. Okay, now we get from crude oil, we get our diesel, our fuel, our kerosene, and lots more. Now, the states in Nigeria where we can find crude oil are Akwa Ibom, Imo, Bayelsa, Delta, Rivers, and Ondo states. Those are the places where we can find crude oil. Now, the next mineral resource we have here is tin, and we can use tin to make containers, burns, and so on and so forth. And the places in the states in Nigeria where we find um, the tin is Kanu, Kwara, Ondo, Oshun, Nasarawa, and Plateau states. Okay, now the next mineral resource we have here is columbite. Columbite is used to make steel. Columbite can be found in Bauchi, Plateau, Kanu, Kaduna, Kogi, and Nasarawa. Okay, those are the places where we can find columbite. And then we have gold. Gold is a mineral resource and it is used to make jewelries. It's used to make jewelries, and we can find gold in Oshun, Niger, and Kwara states of Nigeria. Let's go over to limestone. Limestone is used to make a lot of things. It's used to make cement, soap, glass, and toothpaste. Okay, and we can find limestone in Ogun, Borno, Sokoto, Benue, Gombe, and Cross River states. All right, and then again we have coal. Coal can be used to generate power and can be we can get tar from coal, and coal can be found in Enugu, Imo, Kogi, Delta, and Plateau. And the last mineral resource I'm going to talk about is iron ore. Iron ore is used to make iron and steel, and it can be found in Kogi State of Nigeria. Okay, so those are some of the mineral resources we have in Nigeria, where they can be found and what they can be used for. Now let's go over to before that. Now, why exploring our natural resources, or why we try to use our natural resources, sometimes it creates problem for the environment. For instance, cutting down trees creates problems. Excuse me, creates a lot of problem in our environment. Trees breathe out oxygen and breathe in carbon dioxide, and so they are very important to us. So if we keep cutting down trees because we want to use them, it will affect the environment. And also, the use of crude oil, exploring crude oil, has led to a lot of environmental problems. Oil spillage, that is when crude oil enters into our rivers, causes a lot of damage. Causes Oil spillage causes a lot of damage to the fishes in the river. And so you can see that the use of natural resources can sometimes cause problems in our environment. And that brings us to a very important topic: conserving our natural resources. Conserving our natural resources simply means to use our natural resources in such a way that will be friendly to the environment and also sustain the resources for the generations to come. Okay, now what are some of the things that we can do to conserve our natural resources? The first one I have here is, when you cut down any tree, try to plant another one to replace the tree that you cut down. Okay, another thing we can do to conserve our natural resources is to not pour dirt into our rivers and oceans. Do not put that. Don't Our rivers and our oceans should not be a dumping site for garbage or for waste, for any form of waste product. Okay, and then again, we should try as much as possible, excuse me, to avoid oil spillage. We should try as much as possible to avoid oil spillage. That is, we should try as much as possible to not allow crude oil to enter into our rivers and oceans. Okay, so with that, we have come to the end of the class. Thank you for listening and watching. It's been an amazing time with you. Thank you very much. Bye bye.